times, and it's about as a unit, as a team, staying compact and defending well when you can. And just tonight they just switched off for that brief moment at the end of the first half,
which has been a recurring theme. And when James's Everton frustrated them and West Ham did in the last game, that's why they're frustrated. They're not higher in the table, but at least tonight they responded in the second half and got the job done.
Yeah, they certainly did, and it was really evident right from the first couple of minutes of the second half that this was going to be one-way traffic. You know, they got in once or twice before they actually scored, and Wolves all of a sudden played a high line, had trouble defending the numbers that flooded forward. So, yeah, I mean, we all know in terms of the players, Manchester United have got a lot to offer. We see it in glimpses, and there's been plenty of false dawns for years and years and years now. But that's a nice position. 6th in the league, a point behind Champions League places is something that all of a sudden it gets you up in the morning thinking, come on, lads. When you're floating around 15th, 16th like they were last season, it's demoralising. You don't even look forward to playing football. It's just horrible. You want the ground to swallow you up. So at least now they've got something to play for, and this is a bit more like it. Still a long way to go, of course, but signs are promising tonight. Yeah,
and they got the reaction, as Mason Mount was talking about there in the second half, and got the goals. And he was involved, obviously scoring one, creating another. Brian Mbeumo has been a big success this season as well, hasn't he? Another goal by him.
Yeah, and we, as Michael said, we saw the space that United were finding in behind the back three or back five, as you would say. You could see here Dalot exploiting that space in behind in a square pass to Mbeumo. You just see Mosquera, who's the right centre half. He sort of reads the initial pass, but then he gets intercepted by, I think it's Krejci. Sort of gets his feet sort of tangled up until he turns the wrong way and loses Dalot. And as you see just earlier in the clip, Agbadou tries to sort of step in to intercept the pass, and he just doesn't really get in the line of the ball, and then it just leaves the space wide open for United to expose and Mbeumo to tap it in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good goal from Manchester United's point of view. It's quick, it's decisive, unselfish at the end. But, you know, James makes a couple of really good points from a defensive point of view. I think he just lost his... Mosquera, when he spins around, he loses all his momentum, doesn't he? And then he can't really chase back. And he's unfortunate, really, because you made the point, when the ball was almost deflected, he's probably spinning around to think, we're back in possession, let's, you know, but all of a sudden it dropped to a Manchester United player and he lost all his momentum. Here it is, just there on the right-hand side of the screen. So he almost does a 360 spin, doesn't he?
Yeah, he tracks Dalot initially, and as I said, there's a pass gets intercepted, he's almost trying to find the ball again, probably ends up turning off the wrong shoulder to try and find where the ball is, and before he knows it, Dalot's carried on making his run, and it's been slipped into by Cunha, and exposed the sort of back three. Keeper comes rushing out, and an easy tap in for Mbeumo.
Mason Mount got the player of the match there. Important for him to be bright, get back in the team, stay injury-free, and he's scoring goals at the moment as well.
I'm pleased for him. I mean, he's had a real tough time since he's been, like a lot of players at Manchester United have had, but, you know, he's had injury problems, he's had, you know, not been in favour, let's say, but he's really starting in the last, probably this season, actually, to get into the manager's thoughts for a starting berth, and he's been starting a fair bit. Again, from a defensive point of view here, James, where do you think Wolves can do better?
If I reflect to the game that we played against them, I was constantly just watching where Bruno Fernandes was and just asking people to get close to him. If you just see early in that clip there, Bruno manages to get himself 5 yards. No one gets close enough to the ball, and a player of that quality is going to find the pass. It's a good run by Mason Mount into the box, just wasn't really very well tracked. You're probably expecting more from your right back to track the runner on the inside, and a good finish, and yeah, game's out of sight by then.
You say keep a close eye on Bruno Fernandes. There's a reason for that. We all know some assists are questionable, but not really with Bruno Fernandes. But he has now contributed to the most in the Premier League this season. Bruno Fernandes ahead of the likes of Cherki, Kudos, Doku. Your own Jack Grealish is on that list as well. He's always alive and looking for something, isn't he?
Yeah, we said it in game. He's at the heart of everything for Manchester United. He seems to be, every time there's a goal involvement, a cross that causes a problem for the other team, a pass, it always seems to be Bruno at the heart of it. And you see, you give him 5-10 yards of space there, he's going to find the pass. So you need people as close to him as possible at all times, and Wolves didn't manage to do that tonight.
Now, we found the fourth in the penalty spot. Before we see him converting it, there's a little bit of a discussion to have, shall we say, about the awarding of it, considering one wasn't given in the first half. But let's take this one in isolation first. Any issue?
No
Good
issue.
use of VAR?
Good use of VAR, yes. I thought it was quite similar in many ways. The only thing that I thought was different is this definitely hits him below the shoulder. It's sort of on the forearm stroke elbow, so it's definitely in a position, no question about it. But I think it was similar in a way, both, you know, sticking their arm out when the ball was heading towards goal. I mean, I thought they were both penalties. I probably thought that was more of a penalty just because it hit him a lot lower on the arm.